Hi, my name's Thatcher Killian. I'm committed to the University of Richmond for lacrosse.
My name is Jack Harrington, and I'm committed to play golf at University of Michigan next year.
I'm Kate Lee, and I'm committed to play golf at Wellesley College.
I'm Kano Santiago, and I'm committed to play baseball at Gonzaga University.
I'm Berkeley Tech, and I'm committed to California Baptist to play softball.
My name's Gigi Abernathy. I'm committed to Bucknell University for lacrosse.
My name is Emma Bennett, and I'm committed to Georgetown University for cross country and track and field.
The recruiting process was a little long for me. I think I started end of my sophomore year, sending out emails, and then I just played a lot of tournaments and kept the coaches updated with what was going on for golf. And then I started to go on visits last summer, and for me, a lot of the times going to camps and my tournaments were how I met the coaches and how it helped me narrow down who I wanted to play for.
During that process, I'd been emailing a bunch of coaches of the schools I wanted to go to, and my club lacrosse coach had been talking with me about what schools might reach out to me on September 1st, and so I didn't really know what was going to happen, and I was fortunate to be reached out by a bunch of different Division I schools, and so from there on it was sort of deciphering which ones I was interested in, and then figuring out time to visit and really find the one that was the best fit.
Definitely a little bit stressful, but not as bad as I expected. I kind of took a slower route to the whole recruiting process than a lot of people that run. You can start talking to coaches in June of your sophomore year, but I waited to respond to any coaches until winter break of my junior year, just because I felt like I needed a little more time to figure out what I really wanted out of running in college. And so I started by just taking up some initial phone calls with the schools that had reached out to me. And then I sent, I think, 5 or 6 emails to coaches that belonged to schools that I was interested in. So I didn't end up going on any officials until the beginning of senior year, because one of the things that was really important to me was the team, and I wanted to know as much of the team that would be there my freshman year as possible. So I just took 3 official visits consecutive weeks so that I could compare the 3 schools and figure out what I liked best.
Some things that matter to coaches, other than game performances, like how you connect with your teammates on and off the field, making sure you have good attitudes. If you're not playing well, just getting back after it and cheering on your teammates if they're having a good game, and making sure that you're uplifting your teammates.
Being proactive, and I think a lot of people in the beginning of the process can kind of just assume coaches are coming to them, but sending out emails, trying to differentiate yourself from other kids. And then I know for me, a big part of it when they come out and watch, body language, doing the right things, and trying to be someone that they want to have on their team and be a good guy for their culture.
If they talk to you, how you're texting with them, are you respectful? Are you showing effort off of the field, so in school? I think the number one thing you can do to help your recruiting process is doing well in school and making sure that that is something that that doesn't hurt you in the process, because it can only help you if you do well in school.
Some help that was given to me throughout my process was my club coach, especially, also my parents, and I also had a recruiting coach that helped me throughout the way. She kind of helped me connect to coaches, and especially Bucknell.
I got a lot of help from my high school coach. They would reach out to schools for me and let coaches know when I'm going over to visit and go to their prospect camps, and that helped me a lot because it already gave me an opportunity to have a connection with the coach before I even get there. And then my dad also played college baseball, so I had good connections there and all his buddies.
I think my older sister helped me the most because she already went through the recruiting process, and she was a D1 athlete, so she knew what it took, knew what the recruiting process was like, and she helped me with a lot of sending emails and knew how to post on Twitter, what to post, and all the things like that.
I come from a big golfing family, and people have been through the process already. And so people like my dad, for example, had already gone through it playing at Santa Clara and knew how to kind of navigate the coaches part of it.
My 2 older siblings both run in college, and they helped me a lot to kind of have a voice of reason that's not just a coach or a parent who seems a little bit disconnected from you. So I think talking not only to my siblings, but also old teammates of mine that now run in college, they can kind of help you look out for things that maybe a coach or parent wouldn't tell you about.
I made my decision after my visit because I just fell in love with the school. I love the girls on the team, and I love my coach. And my parents definitely helped me along the way a lot. They supported me throughout my recruiting process and just told me to make a decision for myself.
Talking to my friends and my family who know me best definitely helped to make my decision, because I was really lucky that the schools that I narrowed it down to, there weren't really any bad options. So that can honestly be a little more difficult sometimes, because it's hard to make decisions about where you're going to end up for the next 4 years. So I think making a list of your kind of non-negotiables with a school, for me, it was team culture and having a life outside of your sport, so that even on your very worst day, you're still living in a place that you're happy and surrounded by people who are still able to lift you up. And ultimately, that was Georgetown. But again, I think just trying to narrow it down to what's going to be your best fit.
I chose Michigan because probably 3 reasons. I'd say number 1, just the culture of Michigan, and going to a big sports school was important to me, being somewhere where the athletics mattered, being an athlete. Also, then the program's gotten better for the last couple of years. I really like the coaches. They've got good facilities. They play a good travel schedule, play a lot of different parts of the U.S., which was important to me. And it was somewhere where I felt like I could play next year, which I'd say is probably the most important for any athlete going into college, going somewhere where you're valued and you have a real opportunity to make something special.
I chose Wellesley because I went on a visit in the fall, and I had met the coach and talked to her a lot of times, and she's very similar to my high school coaches right now, who I love, and so I really wanted to play for a great coach. And then I met the team, and they were all super nice, and I got along with them really well. And the campus was super pretty, and their facilities are right on campus, so it's really convenient.
I chose my school with a lot of different parts. I talked a lot about my family, and also just figured out which school was the best fit for me between the baseball but also the school side. And it really came down to how much money I got from the different offers, and then also the facilities and the coaches and my specific major I wanted to go into. So it was just the relationships I built, and I fell in love with Gonzaga, and that's why I chose it.
I chose Richmond for a couple of reasons. First off, they're a great lacrosse program. They're the culture of the team, especially with the coaching staff, I really loved how competitive everyone was. You can tell the guys are a really tight-knit group, and there's no real hierarchy from freshmen to seniors. Other than that, though, it's a great school. It's a good size. It's in a nice area, and yeah.
I think knowing what I know now, something I'd do different is probably post a little bit earlier, because I only started posting videos on Twitter and sending out emails sophomore year, and I think the earlier you do is the better. So I think just getting on it a little bit earlier.
I got kind of fixated on playing one sport, and so focusing on playing multiple sports, being in different communities, can really help you as an athlete, and it's a lot of fun too.
You don't have to commit as early as other people that you see going through the process. I remember I was getting kind of stressed out going into my senior year because rosters at some schools I was interested in were filling up. But if you make a great connection with the coach and with the school, then they're going to be willing to help you out in the best way they can. And so just because you see, other people going through a process at a different pace than you doesn't mean that you're on the wrong track.
The advice I would give is just take your time and really take everything into account. My recruiting was pretty fast. It was all within 2 months, and I wish I took longer, but just really find the school that's best fit, whether it's for your school or for your sport. Don't just jump into it right away, and have a lot of talks with your family, and have take advice from your coaches, your friends, family, extended family.
Look at all your options, especially schools that you wouldn't think that you would want to go to, and not just top 20 schools. I think that it's very important to connect with the coaches as well. Make sure you have a good connection with them and that they're very interested in you, because I think that that's a big factor and really helped me with making my decision.
Going on visits, just trying to find different places, pick out differences, and see what you like, because I think going on visits and just talking to as many people as you can is the best thing you can do, to kind of broaden your view of what college you want to go to.
Put in your extra hours. The time that you spend working while others aren't can really, really help with your performance and just your overall confidence in the sport. There's so many different teams out there, and I know for me, going into the recruiting process, I really hadn't considered Richmond at all. I didn't know much about it. I knew they were pretty decent, but like when they reached out, I was amazed at what I learned about the school, and so I think that there's a lot of different routes you can go, and sometimes it might not always be what you were expecting, but that doesn't make it any different. And so keep an open mind and work hard.